following signs on the road.
Ooh, that's not the title, but one sec. Sorry. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's amazing to be here with so many like-minded people. I'm really looking forward to share with you today how we navigate through the storm and look ahead in the future the innocent way. But before we start, I want to ask a growing problem that we face, a problem that touches all aspects of society in Europe and around the world. We're just not eating enough fruit and veg. Does anyone here know how many people in Europe don't actually have their 5 a day? Any guesses? Any guesses how many millions of people don't eat? Not even a guess? It's 300 million people. It's a huge number that people actually don't eat their fruit and veg across Europe. And at Innocent, we're obsessed with fruit and veg and reducing this number. Our passion means that we let nothing get away in the way to bring the goodness of fruit and veg to more people across the world. And our purpose since day one hasn't changed: to make natural and delicious drink to help people live well. But how we do it? I will now share with you how we do it the innocent way by sticking to the 5 principles, no matter what the weather conditions are. I'm sure you all know our brand, but some of you might not have heard about how our innocent company actually founded. So in 1999, 2 of our founders went to a music festival in London and decided to take their smoothies with them and put out a big sign: should we quit our jobs to sell more smoothies? If yes, please throw in that bin. If no, please throw in that bin. And at the end of the day, the result was an overwhelming yes. And 24 years later, we're still here, and we're talking about our brand. We might be selling little drinks, but we actually have big dreams about healthier people, healthier communities, and healthier planets. We never try to make things easy. We always try to balance the people, planet, and profit. And we pride ourselves for talking the talk and walking the walk. And every piece of communication that we put out there reflects our purpose and our actions. And we are a B Corp with a quite high score since 2018. We are one of the few B Corps with over 100 score and over $1 billion valuation. So we are very proud of this fact. And we also have a giant fruit factory, which we call the Blender. Yes, in fact, it is called Blender because we're obsessed with fruit. And and this is one of the world's most sustainable and all-electric factories, actually, and sending millions of products all across Europe in the most sustainable way. Not only have we stayed true to our values over these times, but we stayed true to our personality. I want you to now get to know our dude. Dude is our logo, but it's also the beacon for our goodness. Dude stands for everything that we do. So if you are going through Ledbrook Grove in an evening, just make sure that you look at the fruit towers. Yes, guys, we're obsessed with fruit, and we call our headquarters the Fruit Towers, because he might actually wink back at you. And just like our dude, we're full of personality. We are honest. We don't shy away from the hard facts. We are true to who we are, and we have strong views. And just like this one, actually, I couldn't find a better image. It is low-res, so be it. It's a low-res image. We are human. We make mistakes. We talk like people. We walk like real people. And we celebrate our successes, but we also make pride of our failures. This is a great example. This year, we decided to send our dairy-free range to our product heaven. And you know what? The world went nuts for a nut range milk that no one actually was buying. No one, guys. Otherwise, we wouldn't send them to the product heaven. With just one post, we reached 8 million people all around UK through social media. We even were at Daily Mail. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. We're playful, we're conversational, we're witty, and we try not to take ourselves too seriously. This is one of the posts that we published in 2021 on the day when the pubs reopened. Do you remember that day, guys? After the lockdown. So I don't think I need to translate this tweet to you, but this is again to show how playful we can be as a brand. And we catch people by surprise. Sometimes the small can be small, sometimes can be big, or, as in this case, it can be giant. As you can see here, we're talking about broccoli, or maybe not. This is actually a great example of how we unexpectedly engage with our consumers. This is an example from the last year's Big Rewild campaign, when we were talking about our Healthier Planet initiatives. We thought that it would be a great thing to capture the audience's attention by a very interesting title called A Big Plate of Grape Broccoli, to actually make them read the copy and be serious, to understand how serious we are about a very important topic. We also create human connections. And that's what we pride ourselves. We say that we were social before social media. Even actually, Mark Zuckerberg thought about Facebook. This is the original banana phone. This is a heritage. And when Innocent first started, everyone in the office were pitching in to answer the phone. And we were encouraging our drinkers to actually call us or visit our office. In fact, some of them did. This is Asher. Hi, Asher. Asher was 12 years old, and when he saw our Big Knit campaign, he decided to donate his lifetime savings of £12 to Age UK. So he called us, and he called us many times, 10 times. And then he talked to 10 or 12 different people. So in the end, we decided to invite Asher to the office. And he told us that he had the best day ever, even a better day than a chocolate factory visit. Asher still calls us once in a while. We also include playful images and messages around our packaging. So next time when you have our products, just look at the bottom or look at the back of pack. This is a great way of showing our personality to our drinkers and also for them to understand what we do and how we do. And here is our wall of love. So how many brands out there, their consumers, write to them poetry or send their pets pictures or, in fact, make them a tapestry? I don't think there are many brands out there. And we've always used social media like real people do, sometimes a bit randomly, but with a lot of personality, we say. In the UK alone, we have more than 1.2 million followers across all our social media accounts. And that's 100 times greater than our competition. But in fact, it's more than even ABBA. And we reach consistently, every month, around 5.6 million people, which is around 10% of the UK population. And we like to tweet about different things. For example, our Eurovision tweets. We tweet them once in a while, one tweet or maybe hundreds of tweets about Eurovision, if you're interested in Eurovision. Or we actually make a fun of the color of the year by actually not talking about the color of the year with Pantone. And we also talk about serious stuff as well, just like our fertility policy post. When we post this, it created huge awareness and conversations in social media for people to actually talk to their employees about what are the fertility policies out there. But having dialogue is great on social media, but if you can't turn this into real impact, does it really matter? And actually, we pride ourselves for doing it so. We managed to galvanize millions of people and turn their love and passion for our brand into a very iconic campaign, the Big Knit. I want to now introduce you what Big Knit is about for those who might not know about it. Oops, the sound is not working.
And popped on smoothies. That was our Adam's big idea to raise money for Age UK all the way back in 2003. We told Adam to think of something else. We're very glad he refused. 20 years and nearly 11 million hats later, the Big Knit is one of the best things we've ever done. And not just because it's made supermarket fridges look pretty funny. It's allowed us to donate over £3 million to Age UK to help them be there for older people. That's kept folks warm in winter, brought communities together all year round, and just generally made things a little bit better for everyone. The hats are back on shelves this January. Every time you grab one, we donate 25p to the cause. Oh, and to everyone everywhere who's turned this weird idea into a reality, there's just one thing we'd like to say to you. Thanks for proving us wrong. Seriously though, we really didn't think it'd work.
And what makes Big Knit great? It is iconic. It's been going on for 20 years. Who would have thought that putting woolly hats on drinks so that they don't get cold in a chilled aisle would actually last 20 years? It's for a good cause. Since we started the Big Knit activation, we've donated more than £3 million to our charity partner, Age UK, and we are very, very proud of it. It's collaborative. Big Knit galvanizes volunteers all around the UK and actually, in fact, in Europe. Since we started Big Knit, people knitted 11 million hats for us. That's a huge number. We also like to say this campaign actually is a win-win for us and for our retailers as well. Every time we do the Big Knit campaign, our smoothie sales increase, and we also grow the category share. So this is a big win-win for us and for the retailers. And it's scalable, so we don't just do the Big Knit in the UK. Many places in Europe, actually, we activate through the Big Knit with the similar idea. So in Ireland, it's, again, Age UK, and in France, wait for it, guys, Petit France de Pau. I'm sure it's a horrible pronunciation of the French word, but we also collaborate with partners across Europe. So for us, Big Knit is a win for consumers, for us, for our retailers, and for our charities. And I don't think many campaigns can actually say that. And I said that we don't take ourselves too seriously, but we know that actually times are really hard for our consumers, and we take that really seriously. And we're also not immune to these tough times as a premium brand. So we know that we actually need to squeeze the lemon harder to make sure our marketing budget creates more impact, even when we are very restricted in terms of the amount of money that we could spend on our activations. Here is our new pinkest smoothie ever. And for those who are wondering, no, we haven't received a call from the Barbie marketing team about the pinkest SKU. I'm still waiting for that call. So when we were planning for this launch of the Exotic Energize, the pinkest smoothie, we actually got too excited, and we ordered way too much products that we could sell in the first wave. So instead of actually sending the products into waste, our UK team came up with a brilliant idea to give the fresh products, actually collaborate with the HelloFresh team, another fellow B Corp, and send them the products so that people could actually sample it. That sounds like a very straightforward sampling idea, right? We could have just put a flyer and the QR code in it. But that's not what we did. Our creative team came up with a brilliant idea. So instead of sending the regular flyer, they created this note that looks like a handwritten note, and then put into the box as a mistake. And the results, we reached to 15,000 people, product in hand, and Marcus's mailbox exploded because people were just like talking about how amazing this product is. It's good for us, but unfortunately, poor Marcus, he had to deal with a lot of mails. But that was then. We know that the world is changing rapidly, and we need to adjust ourselves. We need to evolve ourselves. We need to grow with the times. In the past, the health was more functional, more one-dimensional. But today, the goalposts for health changed. It's much more holistic. Before, smoothies and juices were seen as a shortcut to health, but today there is real anxiety about sugar. And we are also flattered that there are a lot of brands who likes to similarly talk to us and what they communicate, and we are really proud of that. But we need to continue to stay above the sea of sameness, to stay relevant and distinctive. And how we do that? As we look into the future, we actually anchor ourselves into our purpose, because we are at the intersection of health and happiness. We don't only just sell great tasting products that do you good, but we actually make people feel good about themselves. Every time people interact with us, it's a pure joyful moment, and that's what actually separates us, and that's what makes us distinctive from the crowd. As we look into the future, guys, I know you're bored of my fruit puns, but in innocent, we are a bit obsessed with the fruit puns, actually. We just don't want to make the delicious tasting products. We want people to actually drink our delicious tasting products so that they can do themselves some good. They can actually change the way that they live. They can actually pursue a healthier lifestyle. And as we strive to bring more goodness to the world, we try to find most imaginative, most joyful, most tasteful ways of fruit and veg by squashing them, juicing them, blending them. And we never stop. Because if we stop, this number will never be reduced. As we go through the times, we want to make sure that we turn this 300 million people who don't to actually 300 million people who do, and they have their fruit and veg. So before we leave, I just want to summarize what we think will take us through the storm, no matter what the weather conditions look like. First, creating a brand and staying true to this brand purpose that is relevant and distinctive for the consumers. Secondly, having a distinctive personality and making sure that all your creative is actually anchored around this personality so it stands out. Thirdly, creating conversations and real engagements and dialogue with your consumers. Fourthly, making sure that we find meaningful ways to interact with our consumers. And the fifth one is making sure that our creative actually makes our budget work harder for us so that we can stand out from the crowd. And that's what all I wanted to share today. I hope I managed to inspire you guys to think differently about your marketing activities in the future. So see you in the future. Thank you.